Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey.
So, let's see. We've got Steve with the beard and the glasses, and then we've got Matt with the beard and the glasses, and then we got me. Wait a minute. Okay.
We're trendsetters. What can I say?
Yes.
Right?
All right. So who's who? Let's see. Matt is outside. Steve is inside. There we go. So I'm going to play you guys some music, and then we'll chat about it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
We're going to listen to Ren, Seven Sins.
Zalig heel we na vrouwen, het oorloven wen, maar de nest kind teimlon hen, aan maar heel kor werft kor vren. I lay broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate. Pain wandered my body, an uninvited guest. Bones of a home where the devil could rest. I cursed the gods, cursed my messiah, cursed my maker. I cursed all of creation. There I lay, feeble and thin. Sick boy, seven my sin. Have you ever felt pain? Stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? Condescending, muscles clenching. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? A rose emerges from the pavement cracks. They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Eternal parallax.
Pain.
Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you, and too many hits you. The dark and the light will converge to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. Body bagging me. Zip it up quick, get their things on B. I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy, onomatopoeia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener. Bright light seizure, dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, E-top for 13 years and I've been feeling so stuck. Lucky number 13, just my luck. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed where I never deep rest. A bed where I'm always depressed. A bed with the human oppressed. A bed for a tomb where I slept. A bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy. Tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks boy, pain is a gift boy. Hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees and I kneel. I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg this guy for mercy, mercy never came. I dipped me dirty, 33 and hurting, cursing. Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking. Gears are turning, future stays uncertain. Surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion. Denounced the gods when my body went missing. Back then, the pain spray ricochet like a Mac 10. Hot lead hit the bed that was trapped in. Red wings, seraphim out of God's grace. Cried tears from heaven like Clapton. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix. Thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, check the biometrics. Bloodstained crime scene forensic. Lights on, lights out. Fade into the background. So down. Running from the silhouette of self-doubt. By now, really should have figured this shit out. Lights on, lights out. Smackdown. Let it be. Quote John Lennon. Click clack, John got shot for attention. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? Bitterness formed in a storm of aggression. Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven. Martin Luther, Mahatma or dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build and praise and bury them dead. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is down and half a gram. Half those troubles and thoughts stay darker than Uruk-hai master plan. Sharper than glass shards, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. Pain makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my cheese, rain down parmesan. Followed by 7 whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1, pride makes a man kill a man for his ego to survive. Sin 2, lust makes the grass look greener, crucifies trust. Sin 3, gluttony, humans consume and consume. Planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth, rinse and repeat, reruns, repeat, time lost. Sin 5, envy, that's when one man's win is another man's frenzy. Sin 6, wrath, rage, vengeance, killers, psychopath. Sin 7, greed. Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. If we take what we need and take more than we need, then our oceans will bleed. Still we feed and we feed and we sleep and repeat. Then we exile the shepherds and follow the sheep. We inherit the meat. We inherit this world that we bruise and we beat. We inherit this vanity, circles of creeds. Inherit the liars, the murderous thieves. One sin for every one day of the week.
One sin for every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
You think he left greed for the end? I'm not familiar with the official lineup of the 7 deadly sins. It does seem like that's the one he lands on with the commentary and most fitting for our time.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, and all of the, he starts out talking about, it seems quite personal, but by the end it's communal. Like all these 7 deadly sins are about what we're doing to the earth and those around it. But at the beginning, he's, on the ground, broken by himself.
Mm-hmm. Do you want any of the backstory to him?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so he struggles with a lot of physical ailments, and so he was bedridden for a long time, and he used that time to write his music, and then recorded it. I think he had autoimmune problems. I think he also had Lyme disease, and he's in and out of being, functional. So that's kind of
that's the sick boy.
That's the sick. Yeah, he is the sick boy.
What is it at the beginning that he's singing? Is that in like
he's Welsh,
Old English or something? Oh, Welsh.
Yeah, I believe so. I think he's Welsh, so that I'm assuming that's what that is.
So do you send us the lyrics? It looks like, I guess it's translated. Sickness are my teachers, my smile broken, my bones feel old. Here lies the body of Ren. It's like an epitaph.
Yeah. I don't know if you could write something like this without having dealt with what he's dealt with.
Well, it definitely takes it out of the realm of metaphor, right? Like, without knowing that, it's a very fitting metaphor, right? I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg. But now there's this tension of, his physical ailments actually embody this larger metaphor.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems very much like he was driven to the end of any kind of hope or faith or whatever, just by the pain and the ongoing torment, After he talks, is pain the author, pain the teacher, pain resisting, pain the mother, pain that splits you in two, the dark and the light converged, pain that twists you and the heavens dismiss you. That sounds like a very lonely, all-encompassing pain from cradle to the grave.
Mm-hmm.
His life has been written around pain.
I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is damned.
Though at some points he does sort of talk almost like, he says pain is a gift. And there's a few other times when he talks about what he's learned from the pain. So it's not an entire like diatribe against pain. Pain is the teacher too.
Mm-hmm.
So this line, Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking, gears are turning, future stays uncertain. There's certainly the sense that Jesus made it all go away, right? So now what's your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And yeah, it's just the gears keep turning, right? And then he goes into this, right? He's got this list of musicians and great men, right? Martin Luther, Mahatma Gandhi.
A lot of them died young.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
seems
Lennon
to be.
and Hendrix.
Well, almost all of them died young.
All of
None of
them,
them
yeah.
ended well, right?
Nope.
None
Yeah.
of them ended. I mean, if he's looking for some kind of karma, like do good, be good, receive good, but
Die
that's
young.
that's not happening.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, it's the opposite.
Well, look at the last line of that part. Build 'em, praise 'em, bury 'em, dead 'em.
Yeah.
It seems like what you're talking about, Steve, the Jesus died at 33. Before that, he says, I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg the sky for mercy. Mercy never came. Life did me dirty. 33 and hurting, cursing. So he's sort of paralleling his own experience of like this unmerciless pain, and then, at the same age as he is or was, Jesus died. And it's almost like he wished that he could die because his pain is still lurking, and his future is still uncertain. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like he wishes that he could die young. There's almost a sort of sense of that. I don't know if that's what he's getting at, or
Well, I think it's probably getting at a lot of things, right? And that sentiment squares with what he's clearly going through, but it's not a constant necessarily, right?
yeah, right.
In a strange way, I also kind of find this almost inspiring in that he went through this and then he still made this. I mean, that's kind of amazing.
Well, creativity in the face of pain, right? I mean, that's like the
Mhm.
ultimate act of defiance, right?
Yeah. That if he can do this in spite of the pain, he still wins.
And yet, and so much of this conversation, so who's he talking to? Where's this pointed at, right? Unlike some of the other choices, at least I'm thinking the Pain of My Salvation, and they give Dear God by XCC, right, where they're directly addressing God. This seems to be this God sort of in the background of all of this, right? And then it's just interesting to me, this died 33 and still my sins are lurking, gears are turning, future's uncertain. surgeon, incision, murder, ambition. And then in parenthesis, fear of the unknown preserves a religion, denounce the gods where my body went missing. So it seems like he's really struggling to get out from under this sense of a God who's supposed to look out for us and take care of us and is failing miserably at it.
Yeah, this is the whole thing sort of, it does remind me of the problem of pain. It's a wrestling with this whole idea of the problem of pain, where how do we have a good God who allows pain and suffering like this? Which, it seems like the whole song points in that direction of the problem of pain as he experienced it, you know?
So here's a line for you. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept. I bear witness watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. I'm trying to get my head around that. So is that a God who walked away, turned his back, gave up? Good luck. I'm out of here.
Well, a distant God like that could very much, explain the problem of pain, right? Somebody who got it all rolling and then just walked away.
But I agree with you, Brian, that when I hear songs like this, there's a tremendous amount of anger, but to put together these questions and to compose them in such a way that they form this somewhat coherent. There's definitely a coherence to this, but these are the words that we're discouraged to put together to make these accusations, right? It's the shame. How dare you bring that up, right? And that it seems to me a tremendous disservice. I don't have too many answers for him, but I do find that it's somehow encouraging that someone has the gall to ask these questions head on. Feels like there's a real cowardice to the glib answers. Some
of this reminds me of the movie The Apostle, when the main character, Robert Duvall, is like in his bedroom shouting and screaming up at God, and that's just okay, and I like this for that, that, like you were saying, like too often those glib answers are the fear of actually like confronting the problem, or the feelings that one might have about why is all this happening.
Yeah, there's an honesty to this.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep.
And for me, I think that this isn't the final word. This isn't the last song he's written. Maybe it ends up. I don't know anything about it.
No,
right?
in fact, maybe we'll listen to some of his other things, because he continues to work with this. Yeah, and it's pretty fascinating.
Is it kind of a motif that he's going with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, the name of this whole album is Sick Boy. And yeah. I think we'll follow this up with some more other ones of his too.
So I'm thinking about Job, in his encounter with his counselors, right? With the glib answers, like, well, we can tell you exactly why you're suffering, right? We have all the answers, right? And Job refuses all of them. And then, even though he never takes his wife's advice that curse God and die, right? He's like pretty uppity, pretty pissed,
Mm-hmm.
and makes a statement. If I could open my briefcase and stand before the maker of the universe, I would have a case. We would go at it, right? And it's an incredible passage when God shows up, and it's kind of tells him that Job doesn't have much to say, but it's not a dismissal of Job's rage, right? It's not a dismissal of his questions, his confusion, his anger. And I kind of feel like that's on the other side of this. It's like it's waiting for somebody to show up, say something. Like this missing God, right?
Well, he seems to also try to come up with some reason for it all. I mean, if you end with this idea of the 7 deadly sins, it's almost like he's, owning some kind of belief that we've earned the pain that we experience in life, in some way, even though the rest of the song makes it kind of feel like it's unfair and it's unwarranted and all of that. It still ends with this idea of like we humans are screwing everything up every day. So I'm not sure exactly how that ties in with what his argument is, but it seems like there's a kind of connection.
Yeah, that connection's a kind of an interesting one. I don't know if I would read it as cause and effect, because I still got my head a little bit in that sort of Job's counselors, right? Because that's what they were doing, right? They said, well, obviously this reputation of you being so righteous, what have you really been up to, Job? Right? That was their accusation, because they were searching for a logic. This almost feels to me like well, why would you help us? Right? Like here, there's this indictment of God for turning his back, but then there's this like, yeah, I think maybe I would have done the same.
Yeah, that's to me what it kind of feels like, that our pain is not unwarranted. The pain of this life is not unwarranted. Whether it's a cause and effect thing in terms of like God's punishment or anything like that, I wouldn't venture into that world. But just the idea that whatever pain we experience in life, we've probably more than earned it.
There's another part of this that makes me think of the Job counselors that Steve was talking about when it says, I search for peace in the belly of the beast, sick boy, onomatopoeia, running up a fever, following a leader, wanna be Miha, grass isn't greener. That feels like he's talking to people who have been giving him some feedback that isn't working, or that isn't, is minimizing what's going on with him, or, oh, you think I'm blessed because of all of this?
Yeah, how about you carry this burden?
Right.
I love the irony. Maybe that's not the right word, but of you had talked before about God tying the noose around his neck. He says he bears witness from his bed, a bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed, a bed with a human oppressed, a bed for the tomb where I slept, a bed in this room that's a womb for this mess. Like, when you think of a bed, you usually think of like sleep and the end of the day and all this kind of thing. And this is like the rack. His bed is like a torture chamber. That kind of bitter irony is painful.
So I'm looking at this last stanza that could almost stand on its own. Interesting in parentheses. It starts. I missed this when I was listening. 666 in parentheses, followed by 7. And then just going down the list, a sin for every day of the week. And
we inherit this vanity, right?
Yeah. And it feels like when we get to greed, it's sort of like one ring to rule them all. Right? He takes he's got a line for every other one, and then he's got a paragraph for greed. And look at where we're at right now. Like, look at why we can't be better, do better. Like, we know so much. We're on the cusp of like all these incredible breakthroughs, and we're going to destroy ourselves before we get to use them.
It's interesting that you picked up on that, because he actually has a trilogy of songs called Money Game, part 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, that fits.
His use of inherit throughout the end of that, I think, is really telling. It's not like we're learning from the past. We're just passing on all these things, which is the opposite of what it should be, right? If we do all these horrible things, these 7 deadly sins or whatever, you'd hope or think that we might learn from it and change our ways. But we inherit the mean, and we inherit the world that we bruised and that we beat, and we inherit the vanity and the circus and the liars and murderous thieves. Like, yeah, we just pass it from generation to generation to generation,
That's
whatever, changing our ways.
It seems like that's that karma that he was looking for at the beginning. Because he's almost saying, like, look at these righteous people. And earlier he says, I'm half righteous, half. I forget, but he does this sort of. But he makes this list, right? He makes this list of people that that deserve more. He's looking for this logic, for this what's the return on these good people? It's almost like, I think he shrugs, gives up. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot. For every good person, there's all these others. Yeah,
and even the good people get gunned down young.
Yeah, and who does it, right? So.
This is fascinating. I really like his style.
Yeah,
I love it's. There's some refrains that he returns to, but he really jumps around quite a bit too, just musically and rhythmically, and plays with it, which I think is really lovely.
Yeah, the tenor
really
of the
good.
whole thing changes depending on what he's talking about, and he's a fantastic musician.
So do we get to listen to it again? Now that we've thought about it a bit?
Right. Yeah, let's do it again.
Good
It
stuff.
gave me some shivers. It's powerful stuff.
Really is. Yeah, I'm curious to hear more.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some more of him. He's got no shortage of amazing stuff.
Is he relatively new? Was he writing and doing music before he got sick?
I believe he was. I think he was in another band, and then got really sick and had to go back home, and then he was, bedridden, and that's where all of this stuff started happening. Yep. Yeah. In fact, there was one. What was that one line? Almost something about the music and the money. Pain makes money when the music lands.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. Let's do some more of him.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right. Thanks, guys. Adios.